I can't tell you how excited we are. It's been a little over close to 11 months since we've been on the field with someone other than Crimson and Cream on their uniform. So we're just really excited. We've been working really hard. Team did a really fantastic job this fall. Didn't get shut down for anything. So it was kind of business as usual in the fall. We tried to make it that way as much as we could. Um, really outstanding athletes, some really outstanding newcomers. Feel really good about our team and I'm anxious for the season.
Get started with questions with Joe Bentner from the Norman Transcript.
Hey, Patty, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. A lot of newcomers, but obviously Nicole Mendes, a player you enter year 5 with under strange circumstances. But I'm curious, a player like Nicole who's contributed a lot of softball to you guys, what's it like having her back as far as a leadership role and to get that 5th year with her? What's it mean for the program?
I think it means a lot for both the program, myself, and Nicole. Really was a hard thing to watch when we had to pull the plug on the season and being so uncertain about their future. So I'm thrilled that she gets this opportunity back. And she's always a very good teacher on the field, really has elevated her game, wants to leave her legacy here at OU, besides training and getting ready for Team Mexico. So as soon as she's done with our season, she's off to Japan and hopes of helping Team Mexico find a way to win a gold medal.
And if you don't mind me asking, just unrelated to Nicole, but notice that the Flores sisters weren't a part of the roster. I was just curious if you could clarify. Did they move on after the 2020 season?
They did move on. They decided that it's a pretty crowded roster, to be quite honest, and any coach would tell you that. And if maybe you don't see where you fit, that makes a lot of kids want to look for something else that might be a better fit. And that's what they both decided. I think they both want to find a place where they could go together. They are not, as far as I know, they haven't put their name in the portal. They're just kind of waiting it out through the spring and see what pops up in the summer.
Gotcha. Thanks, Patty.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Joey Homer.
Yeah, Patty, good to see you. You kind of addressed it there, but what's it like been managing this bigger roster? And then also, what can you tell us about some of the freshmen that you have that are pretty talented?
The roster at first, I mean, we started with 25, now we have 23, and I thought, wow, this is just going to be insane and hard. I have absolutely loved it because this is a group of 23 that challenges every position. So our scrimmages are something to see. I mean, when you split this team in half, it looks like 2 top 15 Division I teams playing against each other. So it's definitely the adage of iron sharpens iron. That's what it feels like. And it's been fun. It's really been a joy to watch because competition can make you do things you never thought. And each player is pushing the other. And it's like a coach's dream, honestly. From a freshman standpoint, wow. I mean, we've got some just franchise game-changing type players. Tiare Jennings looks like she'll be getting a lot of playing time at second, but she can play short. She can do a lot of things. Will be most likely in the top part of the lineup, just pure power, clean, pretty, beautiful swing, knows the game very well. Another athlete that has come in with a lot of notoriety is Jada Coleman. She was the National Gatorade Player of the Year, lefty shortstop, and she is very good at shortstop. It's just a different speed, and I think she knows it. So I really have spent a lot of time with her at first base, getting her to learn that position. I could put her at first, second, short, any place in the outfield. She probably could pitch. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet, but good hitter, great speed, just an all-around natural athlete. Probably one of the most natural athletes I've ever seen. Nicole May is a California product. Pitcher is going to be probably working in and out with Shannon Sale and Giselle. Seasoned professional for such a young kid. She really knows what she wants. She's very serious about it. Those three will really make an impact. I've got Paige Knight coming out of Tulsa that's still learning this level. And Zeta, I got a Jada, I got a Zeta, I got a lot of names. Zeta Pooney was a very highly recruited athlete out of California, has had a little injury, had a few bumps in the road as an incoming freshman, but she's starting to figure this out. And she, our hopes is that she will be a Jocelyn Allo type, big, strong power corner player.
Go to Eric Bailey with Tulsa World.
Patty, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Sure.
I want to ask you just the repetitions when the season was abruptly stopped last year. How tough was it just to get the girls, the ladies, back into a flow again offensively at bats, innings pitch, and stuff? Because there's no live pitching. You're not seeing anything live in the batter's box. Is it a hard transition, or does it take some time?
I thought the same exact thing. We did do a lot of talking over the summer through Zooms and stayed in contact. I think they did their research on the freshmen, the returners, which inspired them to get moving. So I felt really, really proud of this team when they came back. I really didn't feel like, wow, we need to take a month to get your legs back under you. It wasn't like that. I really felt that, I don't know, I didn't feel like, wow, we just had 8 months off. I didn't feel that whatsoever. I felt like they were so hungry to get on that field, and they missed it so much. And I think that's the beauty of this, is when you take something away, you really start to realize how much it means to you. And that alone put them on the field, and they worked their tails off every single day. Normally in the fall, I might 2 or 3 times just stop practice and say, this is awful, leave, it's time to go, let's stop. I never even got close to that place. So I was really, really happy with, I think this was one of the best falls that we've had in my career here.
In this age of COVID, everyone on the roster is important because you just never know when a bad result will come on testing. How important is that third string catcher, that reserve outfielder in this day and age when you never know when your number is going to be called?
I can't tell you how important it is. This is why practice seemed to be somewhat fresh, because they were all playing different positions. Mm-hmm. You've got to be versatile. If all you can do is one thing, then you probably aren't going to help us that much if we run into any of these issues. But right now, I'd say most every one of these players can do something more than just play one position. So it's very important. And some of them have played positions they've never played before. But with a roster of 23, the attitude is, I'll do whatever you ask me to do and more, because I want to be on this field. And the competition is just incredible. And that's their commitment, is you can surrender and say, yeah, I don't see myself in the lineup, so I'm just not going to. No, it's not like that at all. They all know how valuable they're going to be going forward, and they're ready for it.
One final question. Just want to ask you about G. How's her health? How's she going into the spring?
I think that's been the highlight. One of the highlights is she started throwing again. Really, she didn't throw much in the fall. So it was really, it feels like it's been 10 years since I've seen her pitch, but we did the right thing. The doctors made the right calls, and Giselle did the right thing as well. So you're going to see her on the mound quite a bit this weekend. She's ready to go. we're going to still take it slow and give her significant rest, but no complaints about anything that's hurting her. And she looks like she did the last time I saw her.
Patty, thanks for your time. Have a good weekend, okay?
Thank you very much.
Go to Cliff Brunt with AP.
Hey, Coach, just wondering, just how strange was it not having the Women's College World Series here last season, not just as a coach, but as someone who lives in Oklahoma? And then how much more does that make you look forward to it this year?
Well, it felt very lonely, quite honestly, because it's always something that, I mean, for most of my life, it's just that part of the season is what you get amped for and you look forward to, just like someone might look forward to the Super Bowl or what have you. But when you get to play in the Super Bowl, it's a whole nother level of, excitement and so forth. And the fans around the state are so incredible and they love it. It was kind of a depressing time, to be quite honest. But I did go to the Oklahoma City Zoo with my grandkids and our family, and we stopped over at the Hall of Fame Stadium, and I got to look at the new stadium, and I just stood there. I think we stood there for probably an hour just looking, and I was up at the new upper concourse looking down going, wow, this is going to be a whole nother level of wow when you're playing in it. So I think I got a little bit of a fix that most people couldn't, because I got to see it for myself. And this team is absolutely driven to want to get back there and in that place, in that new stadium with the additional seating. It's going to create a whole new environment. So I can't tell you how fired up this group is.
Just one additional thing. Will there be anything different in how you manage Nicole Mendes with her being a part of Team Mexico? Like any, I don't know, special instructions from the coaching staff there or communication with them in regards to that?
We have been in communication, and what's nice is I know that I've had some relationships with some of Team Mexico and their coaching staff. We've known each other, and they trust me. And the attitude is just get her ready. And that's what we do for OU. And I think what we do with her at OU will have her ready when it's time. So they trust me, and I feel good about that.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
We'll go back to Joe Bedner with Norman Transcript.
Patty, I was curious, not too many sports, play the, same team 3 days in a row, but how is that going to look for like COVID testing? I mean, is it going to be a test on day one or a rapid test on day one, or do you test every day? What's that look like for the season?
I think every conference has different protocols, but right now, so for example, we turned this opening season trip over because of the weather. And we normally take our test on Monday, but we had to take one yesterday because we had to take one 48 hours prior to travel. We get there, we do our thing, and we test again when we come back. But every place we go, they might require us to do something different. So it's just but that's really our Big 12 protocol right now. And we have to adjust as we go to different tournaments.
And obviously, you guys put out your schedule yesterday. You start play tomorrow. I think it was KJ Kindler who talked about it was hard to put together a schedule just for some of these spring sports, and especially a team of your caliber. Was it difficult putting this schedule together and getting it out?
Very much so. That's why it came out yesterday. So I didn't want to throw something together and then just keep changing it. I just don't feel good doing that for our fans. And then we have to put extra work on our people to go back and make public announcements about it. We still had to wait for contracts to come in. It was a challenge. So this opening weekend, originally, we were hosting a tournament out in Irvine, California. That got nixed. Then we were going to go to Arizona and play at U of A because they were part of that tournament. That got nixed. Then we were going to go to Texas State, and they had to cancel because they had too many players in. Then we were going to Abilene Christian, and it's too cold there. So, I mean, literally, we were on the phone Monday, turning into a trip now to Texas El Paso because they have 70-degree weather. So that whole turnaround had nothing to do with COVID. It was everything to do with the weather. And so, yeah, I mean, literally, we had to make 5 different arrangements for just our first weekend. So the key is, I don't mind it. I will do anything in my power to get this team on the field. And we may have to pay some bills at the end of the season, but I think Joe Castiglione will be okay with that. We'll go fund me page or something to get some of this paid for.
Well, I was going to say to end the season in Stillwater 3 days in a row, did you lose an arm wrestling match to Kenny Gajewski or something? I mean, like, why are you playing the Cowgirls, in Stillwater?
That is a good question. And there was a lot of miscommunication, and there was a lot of administrators from both sides pushing some things that I don't even want to comment on it because I just still don't quite understand it. But you can have us go anywhere you want, and we're not afraid of that. So the next season, we'll have 3 at our place. I like to play 2 and 1. I think it's fair for the fans mainly, and the elimination of travel. But I can't force a coach to do something. It has to be mutual agreement. So if that's the way we're going to play it, that's the way we're going to play it.
Gotcha. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Go to James Hale.
Hi, Patty. Did you find, as you called around the country, because usually you play UCLA, Washington, was everybody open to play if, no restrictions among any conferences or states or anything? Could you have gone to California, or did you run into roadblocks there?
I would not have gone to California just because of their limitations and the uncertainty of what their future looked like. And if you look at some of, like, say, UCLA, I don't think they are on any kind of airplanes. I think they are limited to a 400-mile radius of travel. So every university has a different type of restriction. For us, it just didn't make sense to try to plan California when they still weren't even open.
Right. Patty, it's always fun at the beginning of the year. You've got a great team, a lot of talent. Talk about what you're thinking about the lineup. What are you thinking about doing? Because at times you hit, your power hitter is number 1 in the lineup. Sometimes you do some interesting things. So what do you got?
I knew you were going to ask me that. And I normally have some good answers for you.
Well, I've got my lineup for you, but I don't even know who you're starting. So
I know. And I got to tell you, I try to write it down, and I'm like, wait a minute, she's got to be in. I can't leave her out. But if I take her out, so I don't know, James.
Mendes third, Allo 4, Allo third, Mendes fourth.
Allo will be in the lineup. Mendes will be in the lineup. I'd like to name 12 players that will be in the lineup.
Yeah.
So what my plan is just to have who's coming in for who and what part of the lineup and what inning, because I need to play these players as much as I can. I got to feed them innings. And I think it'll be good for people like Grace Lyons, who can get off her feet for a bit, because that's a tough position to play. We've got catchers that we can move in and out, so give them rest. So I don't even know, James, this is truth. I don't know who's leading off right now. I have probably 5 options, and I just haven't figured it out quite.
Are you going to go with speed then, maybe over power? Or
I can't tell you because I don't know. I could put Jocelyn Allo in the leadoff, but I don't know. I really don't know. The speed and the lefty speed we have is a little bit young. So I don't know if I want to start off with someone who's been around and let the speed be on the bottom. There's so many options. I really don't know. I really am telling you, I don't know. I would tell you.
I know. Well, we'll find out this week. I want to have the camera on the pitcher in the opening game if you lead off with Aloe. I just want to see her expression when she looks up and sees 78 in there. So
I don't think she wants to be, so I probably would tell you that she wouldn't, but she'll be in the top 3.
thanks, Patty.
Yep.
Coach.
Oh, I got a couple of others if we can go.
Yeah, let's go one or two more.
All right. Patty, defensively, you've got some incredible options. You got a left-hander at short that can play left-handed, which is interesting, but you have the best shortstop defensively in the country. But you've got options with Snow and so many different things. How's that going to help you game plan for any situation you got?
Well, whatever situation, whether it's injury or some kind of COVID issues we might have, I feel really confident with being able to fill in a spot without any issues. So right now, Snow is working in the outfield because Tiare Jennings, our freshman, is really quite good at second base. Just her range, her speed with her throws, her ability to get rid of balls, which adds some speed. So you got Aloe and Snow in left field that are fighting back and forth. Who's better defensively? You got Riley Boone, Jada Coleman, and Nicole Mendes all fighting in center field, and they're all outstanding. You got Grace Green saying, "Wait, what about me?" She's been working in the outfield, so I could have at one time an all lefty outfield that will have incredible speed and incredible arms. There's just so many options there, but Snow has been moved out, but she still can play a very good second. I don't know. I've got so many options right now. The one name that I haven't really talked about, and all the returners, but the transfer from South Carolina, Jana Johns, is going to be something that you're going to enjoy watching. She's really improved her game at third base, but this girl swings. She's got power. So to me, if you're looking at OU's lineup and you're going, all right, I want to go around Aloe. I don't want to throw to Aloe. Well, now you're facing Kenzie Hansen. Well, I don't want to throw at Kenzie, so now I got to go around her. You got to face Jana John. Like, there's no breath for an opposing pitcher through this lineup. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, the outfield is going to be the best outfield we've ever had. The infield is looking like one of the most athletic infields we've ever had. Everything is just, I don't know, it's really solid right now. Knock on wood, and we'll see what it looks like against another team.
Your catchers, you got versatility there. You mentioned Hansen. Are you still working her at first too? What are you doing at the catching position?
Yeah, you'll see Hansen working at first and catching. Elam primarily is catching. I also have Kinsey Coleslaw, who is also catching. So any injuries or, COVID issues, we've got that is a position I think a lot of teams are thinking, man, I got to have some depth there if something were to happen. And we definitely do. So I feel really solid in that position.
Thanks, Patty. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.